Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is news time again from this very good channel. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Hope you're good. I pray that God will be with you in your endeavors. Today, we have another update for you. And I want you to, after listening to it, you drop your opinion and suggestions you have so that Biafra will be free. And that's just it. Okay, let's go there.
People have been making a mistake as to what the president did in Rivers State.
Okay.
With profound respect to everybody that has been talking. The president did not declare state of emergency in Rivers State.
Okay.
The president declared a martial law in Rivers State. And I want you to understand the difference.
Break it down.
The state of emergency is recognized by our constitution and has given the president the power to declare state of emergency under certain conditions.
Okay.
The Nigerian Bar Association, led by its president, has made it clear that none of those conditions has been fulfilled to warrant the declaration of state of emergency.
Are you hearing?
Meaning that the purported declaration is not a state of emergency.
What is it then?
Meaning that the purported declaration is not a state of emergency.
Tell us what it is, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo. Tell us what it be now. That's what we're waiting for. Tell us what it be, I beg. Continue.
The Supreme Court is very clear. In the case of Attorney General of Bendel State and Adeyo, he said any act of governance not covered under an enabling law is a nullity.
Okay.
So there is nothing like state of emergency in what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did. Why? Because state of emergency does not, even if the situation has arisen, does not include the removal
of the governor,
elected representatives of the people. The constitution is very clear. In section 1, subsection 2, that Nigeria shall not be governed or any part thereof by any persons except in accordance with the constitution.
Okay.
Where is it in the constitution where it was stated that Nigeria or any state should be governed by a sole administrator?
Hold it there. The mistake you are making is you still assume that you are in a democracy in Nigeria and that the constitution is paramount. The constitution is king. That's what you're assuming. You assume those in power, they run Nigeria with the so-called constitution. Kenneth Okonkwo, that's where you are missing it. We, the Biafrans, we that chose to stand with Biafra, we have seen this from a mile away. We saw it coming. We know Jagaban very well. We know the antics of that man. He was a spy in Nadeko. You guys thought he was one of the, the pioneers of Nadeko. No. He was the spy of Abacha in Nadeko. He was the one telling Abacha all the trails, the antics of Abiola and the rest of them. He was the spy of Nadeko. Let's continue.
None. So what the president did is akin to what the president of South Korea did.
Okay.
When he declared martial law and wanted to remove the elected representatives of the people, the legislature moved in immediately, including the members of the party of the president.
Okay.
And removed the president himself.
Okay.
For declaring martial law and intending to remove elected representatives of the people. That is a coup against the federation.
But you know that in that so-called Nigeria, your so-called Senate, they are called a rubber stamp Senate. They've already planned things up. We are hearing Kebu say there is a 25,000 bounty placed for everyone that can attest their signature to that nonsense done by Jagaban. That's the problem you have. Your legislature, they are not real. All they are after is the brand new cars, SUV cars, and the rest of them. So there's a problem in that zoo. Only the blind will not see this coming. We saw it from a mile away. But continue.
President of South Korea is awaiting trial for doing that.
Okay.
Even his own party. So what the legislature is expected to be thinking about doing is removing Tinubu for declaring a martial law on a state, a federating unit, and trying to rule that state, to rule the military, through sole administrator, not contemplated by our constitution.
Oh, they did. Now he'll be in control of Lagos, control of Aso Rock, and control of the old River State. You call it River State, but we, the owners of the land, we call it Iguacha, the name given to it by our ancestors. Jagaban, oh Jagaban, an old man in his 80s. He's still of power. He's greedy. We saw this coming, but some of you thought what was going on was an election. You and I know who won that election in that zoo in 2023, but no. This man has bought the judiciary, legislative, and even the executive. They bow to him. He is now above the law. But with the Biafrans, we are saying, not on our time. This was why we redeclared Biafra on the 29th of November 2024. Because any activity by your military in the old River State, any so-called administrator is encroaching upon the land, a foreign land owned by we the Biafrans. But I'll give you the space. Continue. Break it down.
Tinubu has done. Can't you see? And let me explain them more. He usurped even the power to make law for that state.
Okay.
He said the sole administrator can make regulation. Regulation is part of law because regulation is a subsidiary legislation that derives its validity from a statute.
Okay.
So he usurped it through a decree, not our law, that the sole administrator can make law and that he, Tinubu, and his cabinet will be the one to authorize the law, usurping the power of the legislature. That is treason.
Usurpation of the power of the law and the rest of them. I told you. He has captured the most vital states in that zoo. Lagos State, Aso Rock, and now he's trying to take over the old River State where they have the oil. When will you guys wake up? Kenneth, Okonkwo, and the rest of you guys. When will you guys wake up and start to support us for what we are doing? Rescue is on the way. Biafra to the rescue. We've already done the job. We have redeclared our nation already. All we need is the backends, the support from men like you. Can't you see what's happening? Can't you read the handwriting on the wall? Can't you see what that man is doing? Can't you see it? Let's continue.
That is trying to govern Nigeria or a part of it in a manner not contemplated by the Constitution.
Okay.
Now, Tinubu suspended, if you want to make it affected by the Constitution.
Listen.
Now, Tinubu suspended numerous sections of the Constitution in order to make his declaration.
Okay.
No state of emergency authorizes the government to suspend any provision of the Constitution. But in declaring the martial law, which Tinubu did for River State, he suspended Section 1 of the Constitution, Section 179, 180, 188, 189, and Section 120 and 121.
Okay.
Including Section 117 and 110, in other words, 110 of the Constitution. He suspended these several sections of the Constitution in order to make that declaration. That cannot be declaration of a state of emergency.
And you call that a democracy? And you are still calling him President Tinubu? You guys are so funny. A man suspending the law and you think that's democracy. Where is that done? What gave him the power to do what he did? You see, now watch with the watchuna. I swear to God, when this Biafra comes, I will not show pity to that zoo called Nigeria. I will never show them pity because they are a corrupt entity. Even those living in that zoo, they are corrupt. Their brain is corrupt. That they see corruption at the highest level. They pretend everything is fine. They come with tribalism. They go to the enclave. They support their own place. They work in silos because they believe in tribalism, nepotism. A criminal, a drug man. Somebody that forfeited his money in America. But no. You still call him your president. You think a criminal will come and rule you justly? Is that what you're thinking? You're expecting a criminal. Person when get thief mind. Person when get thief brain. To come and rule you justly. No. All they know is crime. That's all they know. To them, crime is normal. It is normal. That's how they can effectively govern. But you guys don't get it. You think it's all about politics. Continue.
These constitutions, provisions of the constitution talking. You cannot govern Nigeria outside elected member of the representatives of the people.
Okay.
That is what these sections are saying. And these sections enumerated the methods that you can use to remove a member of the House of Assembly or the governor.
Okay.
One, by death, by resignation, by removal through impeachment, by permanent incapacity and expiration of term. And for the House of Assembly member, by recall. That is the summary of all these sections that I have enumerated. So the president suspended these sections and wanted to rule Rivers State by decree. Because he has already usurped the power of the legislature. And that is why I'm saying that what he declared was martial law, was a coup against the people of Rivers State.
Okay.
Rivers State are the ones that elected the governor and the members of the House of Assembly. And even by Interpretation Act, he said he that appoints is the only person that have the power to remove.
Okay.
So the president did not appoint the governor. He did not appoint the members of the House of Assembly. They were elected. So the president has no right to remove them. And any government in place in a democracy was instituted by laws. And that is why the Supreme Court says any act of governance that is not covered under an enabling law is a nullity.
Nigeria don't have law and they don't respect any law in there, in that zoo. If not, why must a man like Nnamdi Kanu still be held somewhere? How many years? A man who was kidnapped by your government. You see, from the smell of mess, you can tell the taste of shit. It's been coming, it's been brewing, but now the chicken has come home to roost. You said you had an election. Look at what they did to you to your election. They called it a system glitch. You guys did nothing about it. Now, this is part 2. This one, the second base. They are going deeper. What is coming next? Go Shokuna. What is coming next in that zoo? Go Shokuna. That's why we are living. Let those that believe in Nigeria, those that say, God bless Nigeria, Nigeria go better, they believe in Nigeria, God bless the police, God bless the military. Those saying that made the worst of Nigeria happen to them. You see, I don't put an on my head. Those that believe in Nigeria, you see what is happening. Somehow in your mind, you still believe, say, Nigeria go better. Somehow, something in your brain is telling you, despite from 1960 till date, you see what is happening there. But somehow, because you are enjoying some crumbs from the table of your oppressors, you keep saying, Nigeria go better, Nigeria go better, our country go better, oh, Nigeria go better. In your mind, may the worst of Nigeria happen to you all. Continue.
In the National Assembly that has the right, and I'm talking now about the state of emergency, for you to know the difference from the state of emergency and what Tinubu did. In the state of emergency, Section 305 was clear. You declare state of emergency when there is war, or when there is imminent threat of invasion of Nigeria. That has not happened. Or when there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety as to warrant extraordinary measure to correct the situation, or where there is a danger that such a thing will happen.
Okay.
Or where there is a natural calamity of such that needs extraordinary measure to correct. Or where there is a threat to the collapse of the Federation of Nigeria. This is section 305, subsection 3. Now, none of these things has happened. And the president came on TV to say there is a security report for you. Security reports, Mr. President, is for you. It is not for Nigerians. So anything that Nigerians do not know should not know Nigerians. You that know your security report, the security report has not given you the right to remove elected representatives. So what the state of emergency actually is doing is that the president should empower the democratic forces to be able to overcome the danger, even if it means using extraordinary measure. What is the extraordinary measures? The state of emergency that is talking about an extraordinary measure is that you have the right to restrict the fundamental human rights of Nigerians.
Okay.
When you are taking away the extraordinary measure, it does not mean removing elected representatives. And this was stated in section 45 of the Constitution, when they say that the provisions of the human rights cannot invalidate any law made by the National Assembly if that law is intended for the defense, public safety, public morality, public order, or public health of the country. And even that section made it clear that the National Assembly has the power to make such law for the defense, even if it affects the fundamental human rights. And in section 11, subsection 4, the Constitution made it clear that the making of the law by the National Assembly does not include the removal of the governor or the deputy. That is, even if the legislature is not functioning in that state.
Okay.
What does that tell you? That no law gives any right to any elected president to remove the elected representatives of the people. Now, let me tell you this catch. Because the president is referring to one pipeline or two that was breached during the regime of President Goodluck Jonathan.
Listen.
The whole pipelines in Niger Delta were threatened. Most of them breached by the militants that have waged war against the Federal Republic because of the marginalization of the Niger Delta. I hate this joke. Republic because of the marginalization of the Niger Delta.
Listen.
President Goodluck Jonathan, bless his soul. That was a situation that needed a state of emergency. He did not even declare a state of emergency because he did not believe that there was anything extraordinary in what these people are doing, which the security forces cannot contain.
Okay.
He simply made an order that the security forces should restore order in that region and arrest the culprits and bring them to justice. This was what he did. And the security forces moved in. No governor was affected, no House of Assembly was affected, and it led to the dialogue, which resulted in the amnesty, which brought peace to the region, which we are enjoying today.
Okay.
When a competent president wants to make peace in any part of the country, he goes it by the way that President Goodluck Jonathan, that President Umaru Yar'Adua went about it. You negotiate, you go into dialogue, not going to support your appointee.
Okay.
In order to destroy the state, because you want to capture the state. That is why it is not a state of emergency that he's doing, because Yar'Adua, faced with the problem in the entire Niger Delta, which breached all the pipelines, which brought war against the Federal Republic, did not even declare a state of emergency. And the president is telling you apprehension, that is tension, not that is anything actual, no evidence. So that is one. Secondly, when Goodluck Jonathan was faced with invasion, insurgency by a terrorist group called Boko Haram that has taken over local governments, and 3 states were under threat, Goodluck Jonathan rightly declared a state of emergency and did not remove any governor, did not remove any elected representative of the people. Why? Because he was not declaring martial law, he was declaring state of emergency.
Okay.
And he took out that situation. I remember when Boko Haram, before the election, in 6 weeks, he wiped them out. Why he declared the state of emergency is to let the people know your movement might be curtailed. So don't come and quote for us freedom of movement. You should not come out in so time because stray bullets can catch you. And then if stray bullet catches anybody, you can't go to court and say the person was killed. That is the essence of the state of emergency. Your fundamental human rights could be involved. Now, let's go to Obasanjo.
Okay.
Because Obasanjo was the only leader that removed some governors during the state of declaring state of emergency.
Listen.
Which, of course, the courts now have ruled illegal. But one thing Obasanjo did, he did not use it as an instrument of power grab.
Okay.
Obasanjo never declared or removed any elected representative in the opposition party.
Okay.
It was only PDP members, his own party, that he removed. And there was another governor that had the same security problem in another party.
Okay.
Obasanjo refused to remove him because he knew that it would be interpreted as power grab. Obasanjo wrote a letter of warning to that governor. When Tinubu was governor, there was security problems in Lagos. Obasanjo restrained himself from declaring state of emergency in Lagos. I still remember it was Dele Alake that came out on TV and told Obasanjo, the security in Nigeria is your duty, not the duty of Tinubu in Lagos.
Okay.
And that if security had failed in Lagos, it is your failure, not the failure of Governor Tinubu.
Okay.
And you cannot declare a state of emergency in Lagos because of security failures. Because security is the exclusive reserve of the federal government. Because all the instruments and apparatus of the armed forces are commanded by the federal government. The state has no power because they don't have any police. And Dele Alake made it plain to Obasanjo. When I met Dele Alake, when we were in APC, in one function, I went to him and said, Dele, remember that thing you did during Tinubu's regime? You confronted Obasanjo and told Obasanjo you cannot declare a state of emergency in Lagos. Dele said, yes. We talked about it. I said, Dele, you did the right thing. And I congratulated him. He is there today. He told me that, look, they had to do it. And they did it. And Obasanjo did not declare state of emergency in Lagos. Not because there was no tension. There was even times in Lagos when Aleppo will kill a soldier or wound a soldier without knowing. The soldiers will go and wipe them out. During Tinubu's regime, nobody declared state of emergency. And now in Rivers State, nobody has died as a result of anything. And you came out on TV and say you're declaring a state of emergency. No, it's not a state of emergency. It is a declaration of martial law. It is a coup to forcefully and with the military remove elected representatives so that you will take over the state and administer it with military people. That's a coup.
Hold it there. That's a coup, he said. Lord have mercy. There's the problem. When we tell these guys these things, they don't understand it. They don't get it. They think they have a country, a nation called Nigeria. No! There was once a country. But today, what you have are criminals jostling for positions, finding a way to grab as much as they can. They know this ship has been wrecked. They know the ship is riddled with hole. They know that ship called Nigeria is sinking. But in their greed, they still want to grab as much as possible in a sinking ship. Everybody are putting on their vest to jump out of the boat. But this greedy man said, no, we believe in this ship. We believe in Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. One Nigeria. Unfortunately, people like Kenneth Okonkwo, all they do is talk the good talk. They talk and talk. Nobody listens because Nigeria is a crime scene. Someone once said that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. When they say those words, sometimes you guys don't understand the meaning of those words. You should go deep into those words. When they say something is fantastically corrupt, that's what you are saying now. That a governor, you claim you voted for. A governor Suddenly, this is happening to him. From Aso Rock, they took him out. This is why we are telling you that most times, most of those governors, they have to go and bow down to the Fulani in the north, the cabal in the north. Kiss the ring, bow down, and do everything that they have to do in accordance to the rules given to them from the north. In the case of this man, Fubara, just look at him. He tried to do what is right. But the man who put him there is saying, no, you must be a criminal. You must be a stooge. People, we the Biafrans can't continue like this. This is not a country. Only those that love Nigeria are those ones that they are not from that eastern region that, that feed them. Those that come from other countries or other states that don't have that resources, that oil, they are the ones that love Nigeria because they know that the crude oil is what is fueling or keeping the engine of that zoo going. But we that own the land, we that own the resource, we are saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. Look at what they are doing to the old River State. A state where all the resources that runs that zoo called Nigeria comes from. It's all about power grab to control. Despite this men, they are already billionaires. They have made enough money. They have stolen enough money. But no, the greed of that free money, the greed of knowing that if they back away, somebody else will now enjoy the money. That's what is doing them. A thief will remain a thief because they have that greed in them. Say, if I steal and run away, somebody else will come in and I doubt their integrity. They will also steal and loot this country dry. So, okay, in that case, let me continue to steal. I will steal my way out. Even when I'm caught, I will buy the judiciary. I will buy everything. This is what they're doing in that zoo. A shameless country. And unfortunately, those that believe in Nigeria, when they travel around the whole world, at the airport, see the way they treat them like criminals, and they are wondering why. You want to go on a holiday, as you reach the airport, even in African countries, they insult you, they keep you standing, they strip you naked, they put you in a scanner, they scan your belly, your stomach, if you have, ingested or died, drugs, all those things. You think this life you're living? No. We that live in the Western world, we know the standard we are enjoying here, and we are coming to implement it in Biafra land. Let those that believe in Nigeria remain in Nigeria. No problem. But me, my people, we are going home. What you have is not a country. It's a crime scene. It's a banana republic. Let that sink into your mind. What you have is a banana republic. Hi, God have mercy. When will you guys open the eyes? When una go open the eyes, see what's in the happen for that zoo? No grammar can solve the problem. Speak your grammar, blow grammar, you're wasting your time. It will not solve the problem. Break that zoo up. That's the solution. To the Yorubas, unfortunately, once again, the Fulani Cabal, they've chosen the worst from you. They've chosen the worst from you to lead a country called Nigeria. So now in the annals of history, when they are breaking down the so-called presidents that ruled that zoo called Nigeria, when they call the Yoruba presidents, it will be the criminals amongst you. Very, very sad. But it is happening because deep inside, you guys think you are doing politics. Deep inside, you think there is a mutual understanding between you and the North. You were there attacking the Igbos, Yashukudi, no come out to Yashukudi, the Igbos must go. You thought the problem was the Igbos, but today, look at the one they chose for you. Look at what he's doing. Something that is out of the character of the Yorubas. The real Yorubas I know don't behave this way. But unfortunately, when a criminal is chosen amongst you, they show the tendencies. They show the characteristics of a criminal. And it will rub on the people, unfortunately. So I implore you guys to come out and do what is right. Call him out. Disown him. Let the whole world know he's not off you. We saw his passport. His Guinea passport, or is it Gambian passport that we saw? Come out and do what is right. Disown that man in Asorok. Because he has brought shame, disgrace to your name. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear.